Imagination Cube is an online interactive whiteboard where you can invite people to share a literacy or fun activity with you. The board has a variety of tools. In the editing mode, there are writing, drawing, inserting shapes, using different colors, and changing drawing or text size. For file options, you can save your work to a file and have its link in an email message for later access, or you can share your work with whoever you want via email, or you can also print out your work. It's a collaboration tool that allows two forms of collaboration: synchronous or asynchronous. Synchronous, when you and your friends can work together on a project or a tutorial, and asynchronous, when you can save your work to a file and send the link to your team to see what you did and maybe they can edit it. So Imagination Cube is a good free tool that can be used in many educational ways. Teachers can tutor their students. Teachers or students can save tutoring sessions to play later. Students can collaborate on writing or research projects. Teachers and students can publish their work to whichever community they like. So in terms of literacy, the Imagination Cube can develop visual, digital, and verbal literacy.
Another useful tool to promote literacy is YouTube.com's separate section, YouTube EDU. Available to the public, YouTube EDU houses educational videos that are officially sponsored by many colleges and universities in different nations. Some of these institutions include Stanford, Cambridge, and Indiana University of Pennsylvania. The participating institutions have their own channel or section with their own videos, which include class lectures, faculty profiles, presentations, and more. We can examine YouTube EDU using new literacy studies as a theoretical lens. According to Kathy Ann Mills' 2010 extensive literature review on the subject, this framework purports that people's literacy skills are socially constructed in varied situations. Taking this into account, teachers and students' uses of YouTube EDU can advance literacy because the site is an online domain where people can share and obtain information on their academics, which could lead to increased knowledge and skill in the particular areas. With this in mind, I will discuss how instructors can use this site as a tool for strengthening their own and their students' literacy skills. First, instructors can use the site to find pedagogical guides that can add to knowledge in their discipline and practices. For example, the New School provides a presentation by their professor Scott Thornbury about grammar instruction. By using such a video, teachers are enhancing their own literacy in their field as well as working toward enhancing their literacy skills of their students. Second, teachers can record and upload their lectures or presentations to their school's channel for students and possibly the public to view. Just as Carnegie Mellon University has available faculty member Barbara Johnstone's lecture on Pittsburgh Geese. Students can benefit from these recordings because students, especially those learning the language, can access them outside the classroom to review them repeatedly at their own pace, which are all practices that can reinforce the content they are learning, thus developing and improving their literacy skills. These brief examples show how teachers can use YouTube EDU to strengthen students and even their own literacy skills.
Comic Life is an inexpensive teaching tool for digital graphic writing, creating photo albums, greeting cards, storybooks, annotated images, instruction guides, and brochures, which costs $19.95. The website states that, as I quote, the easy-to-use interface integrates seamlessly with your photo collection or eyesight. Drag in your pictures, captions, lettering text, and speech balloons, and your work is done. Comic Life promotes many literacies, and two of the major ones are reading and writing. According to the website, with the help of comics, ESL learners can learn to read narratives or short stories and become fluent in reading. The website states that since reading comics does not necessarily require the learners to have advanced levels of word comprehension, they can easily analyze a narrative's crucial features such as plot, characters, time, place, and etc. In other words, with the help of the pictures, learners can infer the meanings of most of the words presented in the comics. According to the website, comics can indeed help teachers to propel their students who are not so interested in reading. The website states that this is mainly because comics let students pursue a literary format which is addressed to their way of understanding. According to the website, comics provide a framework for writing, which helps the students to improve their writing skills. The website states that comics provide the necessary guidelines to the ESL students to follow while they're writing. In other words, comics supply words and images for storytelling, which would help the learners to both support their language ideas and put them into a logical sequence. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. As I quote, an intelligence is the ability to solve problems or to create products that are valued within one or more cultural settings. Comic Life corresponds the needs of learners in multiple learning styles. Examples, as I quote from the website, Comic Life is a great visual representation of knowledge. It presents what is essential. It is easier to remember a visual graphic containing key information. It is engaging through its thinking, creating, and writing. It's a perfect avenue for writing dialogue. It incites students with low interest in writing. It helps organization through storytelling and storyboard.
Instructors are always looking for ways to engage their students with different kinds of presentations. Unfortunately, many get caught in the trap of transferring their lecture notes directly onto the presentation slides. Welcome to Prezi. Now there's a new way to create presentations designed to hold students' interest. But what is Prezi? Prezi is a free online presentation tool. What's different about Prezi is how it organizes presentation materials. It uses the concept of one large canvas, much like a whiteboard, rather than a deck of presentation slides. Add text, pictures, and videos directly on the canvas. It's best to use small amounts of text, but Prezi does support bulleted lists. Zoom in on objects to highlight them, and videos launch automatically.
Presentations to share ideas.
You can also add graphics, such as arrows and highlights, to draw attention to presentation elements. Next, animate the presentation by designing a path on the canvas between the text and graphics you've added. You can play the presentation either manually or set Prezi to play it for you automatically. I'm running this presentation manually, advancing by clicking the mouse. Like Comic Life, Prezi is pedagogically grounded in Gardner's multiple intelligences theory. Watching Prezi presentations appeals to visual learners. Creating Prezi presentations appeals to kinesthetic learners. Prezi is also a constructivist learning tool, as presentations are a form of social and cultural discourse. They can act as advanced organizers to introduce new concepts, and they provide scaffolded learning support for students. Best of all, instructors can create exciting presentations that keep their students engaged, while avoiding the dreaded death by PowerPoint syndrome. To learn more about Prezi and how instructors can maximize its classroom impact, visit the Prezi website at www.prezi.com.